Hi, and welcome back to Let's Bake and Cook Stuff. Today I'm making macaroni salad. I'm making it with these tiny little macaronis. You can see here, how cute are those? Anyway, it says on the box to cook them al dente. Takes about 10 minutes, so I'm waiting for my water to boil. Then I'm going to stick these in the pot for 10 minutes. I am getting started with an onion. This is a good size onion. I'd call this a large onion. It's about almost softball size. For those of you who played softball, I know my friend Kathy played softball. Hi, Kathy. Actually, her dad coached softball. All the kids loved him. All right, and I'm taking off, I always take off that top layer too. All right, I'm starting with onion. I've got the water boiling in the back so I can cook the macaroni, and I also have 4 eggs getting ready to hard boil. Once that happens, I'll go back there and take care of that. I'm gonna dice these pretty finely. Tiny little pieces. You could use whatever kind of onion you like. I think I mentioned this in an earlier video, I normally use red onions for everything, but they've been recalled in our area. I don't know about your area. Make sure you check with your health department. I don't know. Now, along with the onion, I'm going to put in some celery. I'm just going to use up the rest of this celery. All right, and I'm just using, this is just the last of this celery stalk, so I'm going to go ahead and just use all of it. I'm going to cut off just the tips. And I want these, about the same size as the onion, pretty small dice. I love macaroni salad, and it's a perfect summer salad. You want about the same amount of celery as you have of onion. Okay, I have a little bit less there. I'm gonna chop a little bit more of this. These leaves, the leaves of the celery, they are a lot stronger than the actual celery stalk. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of that in there. You can really taste it when you put that in there. Okay, and I'm going to put in, this is sweet relish, sweet pickle relish. If you don't have any pickle relish, if you have some sweet pickles, you could use that and just chop them up. I want some of that juice in there too. I'm gonna put about, I'd say that's 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup. All right, and in keeping with my theme of putting hot peppers in everything, I am putting some of these. This is completely optional, and it certainly is not traditional by any means, but I'm putting in, I'm gonna chop this Serrano chili. I told you I have these growing in my garden in the backyard, and so I want to use them, but also we like the heat here lately. I'm cutting them whole. I'm leaving the seeds in there. Okay. Again, optional. And then we're gonna add some salt. I would say, a teaspoon or maybe a little bit less, because we are gonna be salting the macaroni as it cooks as well, so it's going to come with its own flavoring, right? So we have our onion, celery, relish, salt and pepper in here so far, and now we just have to wait for the star of the show, the macaroni. Let these get married for a minute or two while I prepare the macaroni. And once the macaroni is done and the eggs are done, how I do my eggs, I'm going to bring them to a boil. You need to fill the pan up a little bit past the eggs, bring them to a boil, turn them off, cover them, and then let them sit in the pan for 17 minutes. Perfect hard-boiled eggs every time. Hi, I wanted to show you that I'm reserving a little bit of the macaroni water. Okay, so that, that's actually kind of a lot of it, but I'm going to reserve this. What happens sometimes is when you add the mayonnaise to the macaroni, and then you put it in the refrigerator and you go to get it, it ends up being a little bit dry. So I'm gonna save the salted pasta water, and then if it gets too dry, then I'm just gonna pour a little bit in there, okay? Macaroni's done. I tell you, that was closer to 11 minutes than 10, so that's why you got to test it. But read your package directions. Very often it'll give you a choice. It'll say 8 to 10 or 10 to 12 or something like that. This just said 10 minutes, and it was a liar. So you gotta do you. Okay, now we're doing the hard-boiled eggs. I wanted to show you how these are done. You can actually buy hard-boiled eggs in the store now if you don't feel like boiling them. They're super easy to make. It's like one of the easiest things you can make. I'm going to pour out the hot water. I boil them in, no, actually I didn't boil them. You bring them to a boil, and as soon as they start boiling, you turn you cover them, you turn the heat off, and then you set your timer for 17 minutes. And then after 17 minutes, what I'm doing now is I'm draining all the hot water out. Then I'm going to put cold water in here. And I'm going to put some ice in here too. And then that's going to cool them down. I'm going to pour this ice in here. That's going to chill them down faster. And then supposedly it's going to make it easier to get the peels off. This is what one of my subscribers told me. Leave it in there for 6 minutes and then peel it. We're going to try it. I'll let you know if it works. Okay, the macaroni has been cooked. Now I want to put it hot over the vegetables that we already made. I'm going to put it over those, and it's not going to cook them, but it's going to help soften them a little bit. Now, if you don't want them softened, if you want them completely crunchy, how they, how God intended, then by all means, wait until the macaroni's cooled off. But I like that I'm going to say tenderizes the onion and the celery a little bit. Okay, and I'm just going to mix this in there real quick, and we are not done. Don't go away. Okay, I wanted to let you know, I went ahead and poured a couple of tablespoons of this hot, the pasta water. I just poured a couple tablespoons on it, and that's going to help keep it moist and keep it from sticking, and while we're waiting for the eggs to get done. Okay, and then before we put the mayonnaise in there. And I don't want to put the mayonnaise in it when it's still so hot too. So if you put that on there, this is actually a good point for when you're making even just regular like spaghettis. My husband likes the sauce separate from the spaghetti. Okay, so when I get the spaghetti done, then I'll pour some pasta water on it to keep it separated. That helps keep the pasta separated from some people will put oil. It helps keep the pasta separated from each other. The reason why you don't want to put oil on it though is because if you put oil on it, it will keep the sauce from sticking to the pasta, and then you'll have like pasta and sauce. You'll have all this sauce left on the bottom of your bowl or your dish, and then you'll have your pasta separated from it. So I don't usually put oil on there. I'm not going to say it never happens, but usually I'll just put some of this pasta water on there. They've already been together, this pasta water and this pasta. So I putting them together again, having them become friends once more, and then we're just waiting for the eggs to cool off. Hi. We're back, and I will say I've peeled already 3 of the 4 eggs, and I will say that my viewers' way worked better, but it's still some of the white came off with the eggshell. So I don't know what the perfect answer is for peeling eggs. I have looked at many videos, I have watched many tutorials on how to do eggs, and they just don't come off that easily for me. Now, when you're making salad, it doesn't really matter. You're gonna chop it up anyway, right? But when you're making deviled eggs, that's when it matters, because you want the eggs to look pretty, because you're going to put them back out with the filling in them. So I don't know, I just want to be able to peel an egg. It comes off a little bit, if you can see what I'm doing here. It does come off a little bit easier. You do have to get underneath that little membrane, and that helps pull it off a little bit better, but it's still not a perfectly peeled egg. I'll lift it off in here and you can see. It's not that bad. It's got a couple of little dents in it. This one too. There's a little eggshell in there. I'm going to rinse these off. I don't want any. Oh man, one time I had a hard-boiled egg at work, and I bit into a piece of the shell, and last time I used hard-boiled eggs in my potato salad, I think I showed you I was cutting them with that egg slicer, and so I'm going to try and do them. I'm going to do them with a knife this way, so you can see how they're done with a knife. But I mean, it's just. I'm going to cut it twice down one way, twice down the other way, the long way, and then I'm just going to cut them into pieces. So you're kind of like, you're dicing it just like you would a tomato or an onion. I'm cutting it one here, and then one here. And then again, we're flipping it a quarter of a turn, and then we're cutting it 2 more that way. And then we're cutting it just like a nice little onion. Just watch your fingers. I'll be honest, I don't think my mom put egg in my potato salad growing up, but my mother-in-law did. And she didn't put celery. My mother-in-law did not put celery. She was the cutest thing. She was allergic to celery. And so she would always ask, whenever you brought something over for dinner, or you were having her over for dinner, she would always ask, is there celery in it? I mean, literally, even desserts. Is there celery in it? And like, no, there's no celery in this banana split dessert. But yeah, she was so cute. She was a great cook. She taught herself everything. I don't even know if she had any cookbooks. She just knew how to cook things. All right. But seriously though, do you love macaroni salad? I do. I love it. Again, it's not something I make all the time, and it's probably more in the summer than any other time of the year, but I really like it. I'm gonna say that's a half a cup of mayonnaise. Let's see how that goes. We might end up having to put more in there. And again, that's one of the things about making this kind of salad. If you don't want to put a lot of mayonnaise in there, you know, if you wanted to make this a vegan macaroni salad, then you would want to make sure that your macaroni was not the kind that's made with eggs, right? And then you wouldn't put the eggs in there, but you could use a vegan mayonnaise. And if you used the pasta that doesn't have the egg in it and a vegan mayonnaise and didn't put the egg, then you would have a vegan salad. And it would still be good. Yeah, this is gonna need a little bit more. So we're gonna probably end up putting closer to a cup of mayonnaise, okay? But this is a pound of pasta too. You don't, if you're just doing this for, like, it's just my husband and me here today, right? So we're not gonna be eating a pound of pasta. We do kind of like it leftover, and it will be good. It's actually good in the refrigerator for several days. It's not like pot. Now, see, that's another thing about pasta salad. Pasta salad, kind of, once you know, when I talk about a commitment to a meal or commitment to a dish, when you make pasta salad, you really do have to eat it within a day or two. If you can make it the night before and then eat it the next day, but like the next day after that, the pasta is all mushy and the vegetables get soft, and I don't know. But I'm adding a little bit of pasta water. I'd say I've used a quarter cup of that pasta water so far. You know, before, when I put it in there just to keep it from sticking, and then now I probably added another couple of tablespoons, so probably 4 tablespoons altogether, or 1/4 cup is the same thing as 4 tablespoons. All right, now to taste it. Now, keep in mind that it's going to taste better once it sits, you know, once it chills. It's still warm right now. So stick it in the fridge. I'm going to say, it depends on how much you're making. If you're making the pound, I would say at least 2 hours. You'd want to put it in the refrigerator for a good 2 hours if you made the whole pound. And then, but you want to taste it now for seasoning. See, oh, you know what I already know I'm going to need more of is the pickle relish. I'm just going to take a little bite. That is good. I'm going to put a little bit more pickle relish in there. Oh, you know what I wanted to do too? I'm going to put this in a nice little serving dish. But also what I want to do is I'm going to just sprinkle it with some fresh parsley, just because I have some. You don't have to do it. If you have some dried parsley and you want to sprinkle them over top, as I was telling you about my mother-in-law, she used to sprinkle paprika over the top of her macaroni salad, and she used to put the sliced hard-boiled egg, slices of hard-boiled egg on the top, and then she'd sprinkle with the paprika. It was, you know, like cafeteria style. She used to work in a cafeteria, actually. All right, and then I'm just going to chop this up pretty finely. And you know, parsley, boy, growing up, remember way back when, my friends who are my age or maybe a little bit younger and certainly older, you remember they used to put parsley on everybody's dinner plate? Like that was their garnish. Like, I don't know anybody who does that anymore, but it wasn't this kind of parsley. This is the Italian flat leaf parsley. And it used to always be that curly parsley. And they used to put that on your plate, and it would be like, get that off of there. Nobody wants to eat that. And you know who used to eat it? My stepmom. I thought that was the grossest thing ever, eating parsley. So just a little bit of parsley. I'd say that was 1/4 cup. And the parsley brightens it up. It makes it a little, gives it a little freshness. But certainly, if you didn't want to do that, you would not have to do that. And it's certainly not something that my mom did. I don't remember my mom ever using fresh parsley in anything. And again, I only remember seeing the curly parsley. So if she put that in my macaroni salad, I probably would have been grossed out by it. back then. So, all right, we're gonna let this sit in the fridge for a couple hours. We're gonna come back, see if it's turned into a more delicious macaroni salad. Thanks for watching. Don't go away. We're not done. Hi, and welcome back. And our macaroni salad, I was supposed to say pasta salad after I just told you what's the difference between pasta salad and macaroni salad. Our macaroni salad is ready. It's been sitting in the fridge for an hour or two. Oh my gosh, look at that. I did have to add a little more of that pasta water. Now, if you forgot to save the pasta water, or if you just don't want to do that, it can be really salty. So just FYI. But if you didn't save that, you can add more mayonnaise. If it gets too dry. See, I think this is just about right with adding that pasta water back in there, without adding the added fat of the mayonnaise. But you know, we're already going for it, right? So don't feel bad about putting that in there. And I am just going to sprinkle this with some fresh parsley. Remember, we already put some parsley in there, just to make it pretty. It adds a brightness and a freshness, and I know that kind of sounds trite, but it's true. It just brightens up the flavor of whatever you put it in. If you tossed some chopped up parsley in your green salad, it would be good. So anyway, here you go. We have delicious macaroni salad. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. If you have any comments, if you have any suggestions, you have any tips for me, I'd appreciate it. Thanks for watching. You take care now. I'm just going to try a bite. Look at that. So good. Please try this at home. Let me know how you like it. I'd love to hear from you.